We've seen our We've seen our first guest on TV and film in shows and movies such as Love Monkey, The Devil Wears Prada, Justice, Lost, No Ordinary Family, Iron Man 3, and Work It, as the Wicked Witch Zelina, aka Kelly West, Rebecca Mader. Our next guest credits include Without a Trace, The Backup Plan, Hawthorne, and his breakthrough role as Bobby Draper on Mad Men. Meet Henry Mills, Jared Gilmore. And our final guest has been a series regular on Spin City, Boomtown, 24, Windfall, Swingtown, and Miami Medical as the evil queen and Mayor Regina Mills, Lana Parrilla. So go ahead and start lining up for questions. We've got Alyssa and AJ out in the audience with mics. And I get the first question for Lana. I love what you did with Regina over the 7 seasons. And I gotta confess, in the series finale, when they elected you Queen of the Free Realms, I got verklempt. I saw you at Emerald City Comic Con years ago, but you said the most profound thing. Good can come from broken. Could you expound on that for our audience?
Oh, wow. Is this working? Yeah. Okay. Hi. I guess what I mean by that is exactly what Regina is an example of good can come from broken. She had a broken life. She came from a very, from a mother who was extremely controlling and her life didn't really pan out the way she had hoped. And it broke her soul on some level. But watching her over the years and seeing her perseverance and also her desire to live a better life is why we all love her, because she strives for greatness. And so even though we have our stories and our wounds and our scars, that we don't have to live in that place all the time. We can strive to live a better life, and that's what I meant by good can come from broken. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Let's go over here.
It's sensitive. These things are sensitive. Hello. Okay. Where is Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Hey. Okay. General panel question. Okay. What's the most useful constructive criticism you've received for your acting?
I couldn't hear you. I'm so sorry. Could you please repeat that?
What was the most useful piece of constructive criticism you've ever received about your acting?
Is this for everyone? Yeah. Okay, good.
General panel question.
Wait. Hello there.
Yeah, hey guys, what's up? Happy Sunday.
I got some really good advice once when I first started acting when I was about 22, 23, and I was so nervous. It was an audition for the soap opera One Life to Live, and I was so worried about knowing my lines. That's all I cared about. It was my character, who was my character, and what were my lines. And I finished the audition, and the casting director said, "You weren't listening." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You weren't listening to me." And I realized that I wasn't listening. I was so worried about myself and how I was going to appear and could I do it, was I any good? I was so nervous. So she's like, "Come back tomorrow, don't tell your agent, and just come back tomorrow and listen to me." And I went back the next day and I listened to what she was saying and I got the part. And that changed my entire career. It sounds so silly, but when you look at a scene in like Once Upon a Time, for example, some of the best shots that move you are the reaction to what somebody's saying. So if you look at the way the editor cuts a scene together, it typically cuts to the person receiving the information rather than the person giving it, because that's where the moments are, and that's how you connect with the scenes. You're feeling what it is to be in that conversation, and that was really groundbreaking for me in my career.
I guess for me, it's something very similar. I have a fairly good memory. And when I was younger doing auditions, I had the habit of just reading the entire scene and remembering the entire scene. So not only my lines, but also every other character's lines. So I'd sit there in the auditions, and when I wasn't talking, I was ad-libbing what everybody else was saying. So I did an audition, and they told me to stop that, and I came back the next day, similar to yours, and I ended up getting the part. It was just a small guest role, but it was groundbreaking, as it were. And something else that is less about acting, but more about being a performer is something that took me a long time to learn. I'm fairly shy, and I don't like asking for things. I don't like being a burden. So on set, even if there's a line that you don't feel it feels right, like the wording is weird, or you have your own opinions about the scene. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. You're an actor. You're there. You're portraying this character. You have to take the initiative sometimes. So yeah.
Hi. Yesterday it was one of those things where when one person asked a question, we all answered, and then a lot of people didn't have an opportunity to ask questions. So I was just being mindful of everyone, but our lines don't seem very long, so I will answer the question. I'm going to keep it short. One of the most constructive and really simple criticisms was just go again. Do it again. And do the take you want. Often the director comes in and says, this is what we want, or creators have a vision of what it is, but something doesn't quite feel right inside. And you can, as an actor, say, hey, you know what, can we just go one more time? Something, just need to do it one more time. And that really helps, and then you get that take that you want, and you're like, all right, I feel better. I mean, it's really simple. There's been a lot of constructive criticism over the years, but that one is a super easy, simple one that you, as an actor, for those that are aspiring actors, take for yourself. Thanks.
Over here.
Hi. I can't hear you. Is that Patrick? I can't hear you.
The mic's not on.
I'm sorry, the mic's not on.
Testing.
Hello?
There
we go.
Hi.
Hey, had the series continued, what do you think the dynamic between Regina, Storybrooke Henry, and Wish Henry would have been, given that Storybrooke Henry has never had to share Regina in that capacity before?
Good question.
Well-
I would have turned Storybrooke Henry into a frog.
Funny story of the day, because time travel is weird. There was actually 3 Henrys, technically. If you, even though you didn't see one of them in the final scene, there would have been 3 Henrys because of the weird time travel stuff. There's Wish Henry, old Storybrooke Henry, and young Storybrooke Henry. So, yeah. Now, instead of having a bunch of moms, Henry has the moms have a bunch of Henrys. There we go.
Oh, Henry.
Over here.
Something's going on with these mics.
Hey.
Yeah. Sorry,
Right over
guys, if it's getting a little
What
fuzzy.
is your go-to craft services snack?
Cheese. Between lunch and dinner, typically like a cheese platter will come out. I'm like, oh, the cheese platter. I love the cheese. Cheese and then tea and stealing wellness chocolates.
You know those instant oatmeal packs?
Oh, yeah.
I love those.
It's healthy.
I like the peanut butter pretzels.
Ooh.
Okay. Here we go.
Over here.
Hi.
Hi.
My question's for Lana. So, through the 7 years, how did you really portray all of your different versions of Regina? And how did you feel in the last season whenever you kind of got to be yourself with Ronnie?
I felt comfortable. It was refreshing. I think being on a TV show for this long, playing one character but multiple versions of her, is challenging because you think, okay, how do I make this all different, and how do you continue to stay inspired? How do you continue to make strong choices, and what are the new layers that I could show in this character that I haven't shown before? So erasing her memory, Ronnie's memory of Regina, was really refreshing for me. It gave me the opportunity to be in comfortable shoes, jeans. I don't think Regina ever wore denim. But there was like a more kind of laid back easiness to her that I connect with. For myself, I kind of feel like I have a little Ronnie going on right now. So I loved it. And I would have liked to have seen where. I thought at first I was like, why is she waking up so quickly? Oh wait, has everyone seen season 7? I just don't want to spoil, but anyway, she wakes up too soon, in my opinion. But that was okay. I really liked to play with the elements of Ronnie, this new character, but then still bringing in a little of Regina for the audience. And that was fun to play with. So, yeah.
Over here.
Lana, when they did the role reversal episode where it was Bandit Regina instead of Bandit Snow White, did they completely redo the costume for you, or did they reuse the vest or any part of it?
No, that was a brand new costume for me. Yeah. No, I wore a Bandit Regina costume. Yeah.
Over here.
What is the
old? Sorry, did you wear the old one, or did they make a brand new one for you? Is what I
They
mean.
made a brand new one because that was Ginny's, and we're not like different sizes, shapes, heights. Yeah, so it's like wearing your cousin's clothes or something that don't quite fit in all the areas that you need them to fit. We're shaped differently. So yeah, they made a whole new costume for me.
What was the easiest and hardest part about working on Once Upon a Time?
The easiest was being next to these two.
And the hardest was leaving these two. But
Yesterday I was a blubbering mess.
But honestly, I think everybody. I think I can honestly say that the easiest part was working alongside such amazing cast and crew. They always made me personally feel so comfortable and safe, and gave me an amazing environment to grow up in. And when it comes to the hardest moment, it's leaving. And while I miss the show, I miss the people more.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. I
Yeah.
miss it.
Yeah.
I miss everybody. I miss going into hair and makeup in the morning and having my chats. I miss getting made green because me and the makeup artist would have our own trailer for like 2 hours and play music really loud and gossip. It was so much fun. I miss the community of it the most. I miss
the A&W burgers.
I miss the tea. I miss the late night chocolate. I miss the community of it. It was like being at college, wasn't it? It was really fun.
Yeah, there's a lot that we miss. I miss seeing these two all the time. And what's that music? Is someone playing? What is that? Is that from next door?
Out in the concourse area.
Well, somebody better tell me how to play. Off with their heads! Sorry, my mother just came out.
Abandon down.
It's so horrible. We're just gonna poof us into another room. There's a lot that I miss, and I do miss Regina. I mean, I miss all the people that I absolutely love and bonded with, but a lot of those people I'm still in touch with. You need some water? Okay. But I do miss Regina. I do miss our characters, and the relationships between the characters as well, and their growth, and how like our characters came full circle, or not really. Well, we never really. Yeah, they kind of did because we were kids. Yeah. So I miss telling those stories. I guess you can sum it up to that.
I've got the next question for Jared. Jared, before you grew up and aged into Andrew J. West for season 7. By the way, that was really good casting. Because when they did that,
He looks just like me.
when they did that time jump, it's like, okay, I'm in. Were there any story arcs you wish you had gotten to play as young Henry before old Henry got to do Cinderella? Got to romance Cinderella? Older Henry, right?
Actually, I just heard someone whisper that in the audience / say it. Honestly, I'd like to see what happened between Henry and Violet on screen. I think that'd be an interesting story. If not, then I just want to see Henry running around the Enchanted Forest as a badass, you know? Slaying monsters, saving people, doing heroic things.
Hanging with his stepdad.
Yeah.
Cool. Over here?
Hi, I've considered listening to audiobooks, but I've yet to find a reader that I enjoy listening to. And I was just wondering, since you all have very unique voices, have you considered doing that in the future at any point in time?
Yes.
That'd be great. What a great gig. You can go to work in your pajamas. It's a good idea.
Yes.
We'll talk to our agents.
I actually want to the way I want to take my career is I want to get into voice acting. That's what I want to do. Video games, animation. I'd love to read audiobooks and whatnot, but yeah.
I just started actually auditioning for some voice work. So everyone's been telling me since 1995 that I should be doing voice work. K-Rock, at one point, I was working at this restaurant, and one of the DJs came down and said, "Hey, do you want to come up and maybe get into this world?" And I was like, "I'm an actress, no, I'm good." Because it would have pulled me away from what I really wanted to do, which was this. Acting, yeah.
Over here?
Hi, folks. Thanks for all you've done, and welcome.
Thank you.
My question is for the whole panel. Best prank on set? And if not, most touching moment?
Dog napping, Bex's dog.
Stealing each other's dogs is always fun. Yeah. My personal favourite of what I did was Lana is very much a student, and she likes to learn, and she's very clever. So she's always got pens, and she's always learning and studying, and so she decided to facilitate that. She'd like to have a little table. So she got herself a little table to go next to her set chair, and on it she wrote, "Back off, bitches," so that nobody would touch it. Now, if she hadn't have written that, I probably wouldn't have done anything. So I went and collected loads of trash, and I piled loads of trash on it, and took photos, and then I found a traffic cone, I put that on it. And then to get me back ages later, I had a scene with these two, and I came late, and she had got this child, got rid of my set chair, and replaced it with a toddler chair. It was so low, with these green Zelina shoes, right? And she was waiting for me to show up for work for ages, "Is bacteria yet? Is bacteria yet?" And I finally showed up, she's like, what I did?
You and we were in
It was brilliant.
I remember this.
Got in it.
Good times.
It was in Gina's house in that theater downstairs.
Yeah.
So funny. We were just nonchalantly reading.
In their normal size chair.
Upstairs, we're
like a tiny chair for me.
Yeah, I think the three of us had
We had a lot of fun.
with
We had a lot of fun. And Colin was perpetually making everybody laugh. That was just perpetual.
Colin was always trying to mess up your close-ups.
Yes.
That was
It's like
his-
raising an eyebrow. You're like, brilliant, thanks. This is an emotional scene. Thanks, Colin. Brilliant.
It's like, in the background, stop it! So he's trying to make you laugh.
Over here?
Hi. So first of all, it's been an honor hearing you speak along with Karen David yesterday, not to mention today. And as for Rebecca, congratulations on having the honor of being able to have a kid. And did you say October yesterday? That's what she
Yeah,
said.
it's coming next. But my mum texted me this morning and said, "You're having a baby next month." I'm like, "Thanks, Mum. Thanks for making it real." I'm like, how is it September? I am not ready. But thank you. It's very kind of you.
So my question is for Jared. So around the time when Emma and Hook became more than just friends, did Henry start to see Hook as a father-ish figure, like a second father?
I think it probably. I think at first, around the time where they started becoming more than just friends, I think Henry always thought Hook was cool, but because Captain Hook. But also he was by all accounts a baddie at first. So I'm fairly certain that Henry would have been wary because he wants his mom to be taken care of. But in the end, I think he wants to make sure that she's happy, and yeah, I think going forward, I think he does see Hook as a father figure. We got something that's really quite amazing.
Do you think Henry would have started wearing guy liner? I mean, I don't think I'd be mad at him. Just saying.
Yes. I want to see that. Let's do it in the green room. Let's do it to him.
Over here.
Hi, my question's for all of you. If you, in Once Upon a Time, if you could go back in time and bring somebody back from the dead but had to kill somebody in the process, who would they be?
I plead the fifth. Oh, thanks. Yes.
I gotta go use the washroom.
Yeah, bring back Victoria. It's all about me. This is great.
Okay. Oh God, I've really got to answer this one now. Thanks.
Well, bring back Robin, yeah. But then who would we kill? A life for a life. If we brought back Robin, then who has to die? Oh, God, I can't kill anybody.
No, I can kill somebody. Hold on.
I just thought of the worst.
This is going to go viral.
I just thought of the worst.
I think
Robin, who are you gonna kill?
Robin makes the most sense. Yes. So does Regina's father. Who else do we love that we want to bring back?
Victoria, Cruella.
Oh, she was. Yeah, you're right.
Belle died. We should bring back Belle.
So there's a lot of people. Who do we want to kill?
That's the thing. It's like
There's 3 Henrys now.
Problem solved. That's hard. That was intense. That was an intense question.
I'm stressing.
Over here.
Hi. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for a wonderful 7 seasons of the show. It was amazing. But every time I watched it, Regina would have an amazing man, and something would happen. So, for instance, even when you were fooling around with Sheriff of Nottingham, the sheriff, Jamie Dornan, he was taken from you. And then, of course, you got revenge, which was awesome.
I killed him.
You killed him. You killed him. With that, and then, of course, you do get Robin, and then, of course, he sleeps with your lovely half-sister. And so I'm just wondering, how did you feel? How did you feel every time you saw that coming up in a script? Like, great, there goes another one.
Just keep them coming, I guess.
Over here.
Next.
I think we can all agree that the costumes on this show are some of the most gorgeous costumes anywhere in cinema. I wondered what your experience was, how much time you spent in alterations, how much you saw the costume department slaving away, how much time they spent particularly on the Evil Queen's costumes, because of course they're so elaborate, and if you have any interesting stories about working with costuming.
I think in the beginning for Eduardo, he sort of made the decision that anytime we saw the Evil Queen, she had to be in something new. And that was probably his own queen coming out. I want her in something fabulous every time we see her. Some characters like Captain and Zelina, they had their signature costumes.
I had a pico.
You had the pico.
And a scarf.
It was really hard to dry clean those costumes, and often they were not dry cleaned, so there's a particular stench often on set.
The hardest part was getting out of them.
And it was,
Getting out of them. Like, I would text the costume person at base camp, and I'd be like, please meet me at my trailer, because when you were in something fantastical from the forest and one of your corsets, all the other actors are driving home and you can't get out of your costume. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I want to go home! Somebody help me! And it's all in the back, and then I had to get my green off. So, like, getting out of those beautiful costumes.
Or going to the bathroom, which
God.
you would have to really invite someone you trusted to. Because often Tira, or T, she's so a part of our show, we love her, often had to hold my costumes up while I was like, I know my underwear's somewhere underneath it, I just need to figure this out. It was like a massive amount of tulle that she had to hold while I went.
And if I was green, I had stuck on fingernails, then I couldn't even lift my own dress to go for a wee-wee, because my nails was going, I'm like, no! I'm on the floor trying to find the rest of my fingernails. So I ended up not drinking very much, so by the end of the day I was so dehydrated, it felt pretty sexy.
What were your challenges?
I got really hot during the summer.
Oh, your scarf?
Never? Yeah, so my scarf never grew. If I would have kept going, the scarf would have just been like, hi, I'm a scarf.
And then she would have necktie.
But I had, one or two fairy tale costumes, and I can attest that I spent a fair amount of time in alterations trying to figure out, the perfect fit. So I can only imagine what these ladies went through.
That was actually part of the question, that's right, is how often we were in alterations. It depends. I think, they measure your body right off the top, so they have all your measurements, and so then you come in for like a fitting or two, and then they just adjust and can do whatever, and then on the day you're in it.
I guess for me it was slightly different because it was just buying new clothes, because every couple weeks they'd be like, Jared's an inch taller. Jared's got a couple centimeters taller. Great.
No, we would have to wear bigger clothes in the winter time because we had like 700 body hot shots.
Yeah, that too.
Underneath. So we would, it was like thermals and hot shots, and they're like heating pads that you would stick to your thermals to keep you warm. So I would always ask for a larger size of everything in the winters. Yeah.
See, most of the time they just complained because they couldn't get me in like the super massive raincoat. I was like, no, that thing restricts my movement. And I'm just like, get me away from that thing. And they're like, no, we have to cover you up. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Nice costume, by the way.
Rebecca,
Darling.
you joined the show when it was already in progress, playing the iconic role of the Wicked Witch, Zelina. What was it like joining the show in progress, and also you have a sister that you had this love-hate relationship with?
I mean, as an actor, joining a show that's already a hit, brilliant. All the hard work's been done. Thanks, everybody. So, and that was I was talking about this in the panel yesterday, it was very similar to my experience on Lost. I came in and season 4 was already a hit. Everyone was delightful and made me feel so at home. I immediately could take the piss out of everybody and I fit right in. And one of the reasons I actually got the job is because they thought that I would just get in and just slot in and not be a pain in the arse like some people. And then with Once Upon a Time, it was the same thing, and just come in and everybody just immediately made me feel really at home. And just even from my first episode, I felt like I'd been there forever and that I felt like I was already part of the family. It was really nice. It was really, really nice.
How about your relationship with Lana?
Certainly. We're working on it in therapy. I mean, it's ridiculous to go from like playing opposite each other that you hate. It's really funny though, because as our friendship blossomed and we fell more and more in love, it became more and more ridiculous to be like nose to nose shouting at each other. And like Lana turned around one day, she's like, "So we have to keep fighting." I don't want to fight with we were so done with fighting, and we'd be like fighting and fighting. They say cut, and then we'd like pretend to make out, We do that anyway, but yeah, it's fun.
We actually just did.
Over here.
Hi folks, this question is for the whole panel. There were a lot of twists and turns throughout all the seasons. What was your most memorable moment of going through the script read-throughs and asking yourself, what the hell are they having my character do today?
All the time. Sometimes I'd read lines about, oh dear. And I said, I'm going to get hate tweets for this. I like to strangle him and steal Snow's baby the minute it came out of her body. Like, who does that? It's not good, is it? It's not good.
I almost died a couple times. There we go.
I was like, what's next? Like, she was full of surprises. And sometimes I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my audience, and then the audience would love it. And it's like, is everyone okay? She slaughtered like hundreds of people. Men, women, children, they're like, we love her! Great.
It's probably fine.
It's a family show.
No, I think the strangest thing was the shattering, what was it? Shattering something curse?
Curse the Shattered Side.
God, I love you all for that. I swear, I'm like, okay, so whatever they said. That was the weirdest one for me, because I was the evil queen in Storybrooke, and that was a trip. What happened to you?
Nothing.
Oh, right.
Benefits of having only one personality. See, that's the best part about. I think that was for me with Henry. It was more. It was less so like weird, but also funny because literally every time there was some sort of crazy curse or something, or everyone would be transported to a different realm. Henry would just be like, "Hi."
Just gonna finish up my homework.
Yeah. Oh wait, everybody got teleported into a book? Maybe I should go save them by driving a car to New York. This doesn't seem safe, but you know what? It's fine.
It's magic.
Over here.
Since the family tree stump in Once Upon a Time sitcom.
Sorry, that's really funny.
Well, okay. Henry's sister is also his cousin. His mother is also his step-great-grandmother. And but I was wondering, are there any like fairy tale characters you'd have loved to see show up that you find out are related to you later? Like if they were to do an ancestry and find out they were like related to Snow White in some weird convoluted way. You are related to Snow White in a weird convoluted way, but some other random character.
Isn't it complicated enough? Do we have to muddy it?
Did we do the Princess and the Pea? What was that?
Did we do that?
We didn't do that. Oh, look! I don't even know how I knew that one. But I don't know where that would have led. Maybe the pea.
This little pea comes in.
Little feet. I would have liked to see that.
Just a pea rolls into the
Hi. My question is for Lana and Rebecca. I was just noticing like both of the characters had lost loves, and I just want you to maybe expound on what it feels like when you lose a person to death, like the evil queen lost her first love. how it changed her as a person, as a character. And it was similar with Selena. How did you prepare for that? What would that feel like, playing that type of change and transition?
I mean, I liked the fact that when I lost my first love, when Selena lost her first love, my immediate response was to then, after having, had such a tumultuous relationship with my sister, then turn around and kill him to save her. I mean, that was a massive shift for my character, to lose something that I'd never had before, and then, but basically be the person to kill him to save this true love instead. And it made me more about family rather than a romantic relationship. That was obviously very painful to lose him, but to then do the right thing, which my character had never really done before, and do the right thing for family was really profound for my character, was really cool and shifting my arc.
I think Regina experienced that at 16 years old, or wait, was I playing a 16-year-old? Thanks, Mom. How do you do it? What's your secret? I feel like she was like 18. Yeah. So she had some experience. And I think what we witnessed was, why does this keep happening to me? And what is this about? And that's kind of what we ended up exploring with Regina, is why do I keep losing the people I love? Even though it's not really her fault. So, that's kind of how she dealt with it. It just sucked. But then, she is loved, and she was loved, and she did love others. And so love came in many different forms, not just with an intimate romantic partner. It came from a son, it came from a sister. So there was always love there. I think she just probably missed that companionship, but, the intimate companionship and that way, romantic companionship, but she was still very much loved. And I think we all saw her journey, so that's what happened.
I'm not singing my line.
Who's next?
Me. That was a perfect segue until the cheering. But for Lana, we all love Regina's redemption story, but just what you were saying, she didn't have the intimate companionship. If you could pick any character from anywhere for her to eventually end up with, who would it be?
Mr. Hyde. You always wanted that.
Mr. Hyde.
We loved him.
I'm not going to complain.
I think I liked when we saw the Evil Queen and Mr. Hyde together. Am I saying? Yeah, he was Mr.
Yeah.
Hyde. I thought something was going to happen. I thought something was going to go down with those two. What?
He was taken from us too soon.
He was taken from us too soon.
Yeah, he was good.
Who could Regina? I think maybe Han Solo. What's that about, Jerry? Not for a stepfather. How about that? No?
Oh, too soon.
That one hit home. No.
Do you need to beat someone up for your mother? I don't know, I missed it. Was it a diss?
No, so Han Solo dies in The Force Awakens, so keeping with the dead lovers sort of thing. It's a Star Wars reference.
Oh, I understand that, but and he's perfect, I guess.
Touche.
Over here?
Patterns. Wait.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, my question's for Rebecca. Being on both Lost and Once, which have some of the same creators and similar story structures, what was that like?
It was similar in the sense of half the time you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes, when we were on Lost, it started off with flashbacks, then it was flash forwards, and then we went flash sideways. I'm like, oh my God, my head hurts. Can I have another cup of coffee? And then sometimes, it would be the 50s, and then it was the 70s, and like, okay guys, rolling. And then whenever we jumped from time zones, we were all going, we're like, we look ridiculous. What on earth are we doing? And then like, well, I got this one last time, you have to do this one, and we have to switch. And then I'm like, hang on a minute, what year is this? I didn't know what was going on, so I was used to not knowing what was going on when I got to Once Upon a Time, and it didn't stress me out, because I think a lot of actors need to know everything and know the backstory and know the timeline, and I tracked everything as much as I possibly could, and I did my homework, but it also taught me to just, sometimes you have to surrender part of it to the creators and literally just go with the flow and just trust the writing and see what's going to happen. But I kind of like the element of things, these really crazy convoluted timelines and storylines and different realms and different timelines. I love stuff like that. It was really fun. I mean, as a fan, I like watching things like that. So I hope I get to do something like that again. I loved it. Thank you.
Over here.
No, it goes back and forth.
Sorry, my bad.
Your
Okay. For one, my question is for kind of all of you guys. Was wondering, you guys did your first auditions as actors, and I was wondering what you took from that as a learning experience to help you better create your skills and your talent for acting for the future, for now, pretty much.
I'm sorry, first audition. I don't understand this last question. I'm not sure I understand. Are you saying our very first audition ever? What did we learn from that experience and how it helped us in other auditions?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I was 5. I don't remember.
I don't remember mine, do you? I think what I remember is something that kind of came innately. You're sitting in a room and you're sitting with a lot of other people that kind of look like you, kind of don't. And it's very strange. It can be weirdly competitive, intimidating, and you can get in your head about it. And you're like, oh, that person's looks like she would fit the part more than I would, or oh, that person's has longer hair and looks more Latina than I do. And all that is just noise. And I remember being in the room going, this isn't serving me to think this way. I'm focusing on the wrong thing. All I can focus on is the work, and what my choices are, and not get caught up in all the stuff that I'm seeing. Because it doesn't matter. Someone's always prettier, someone's always more talented, someone's always more successful, and if you get caught up in all that crap, it inhibits you, and you're not as free. So I learned that being in the room. One of my first auditions, I beat out 800 actors. I didn't know that, but I remember in my first, there were hundreds of girls auditioning for this movie, and I was like, oh my God. And I was 10 months into acting, like 10 months of like really kind of trying to get parts and stuff. And I just thought, I can't worry about this. I can't worry about it. Just focus on the work. And that was really helpful, and I took that, I still do that to this day.
Something similar to that is like you said, just don't listen to the noise.
And the noise in your head.
Yeah, the noise in your head, not the noise around you. Just don't listen to the noise in your head, and be yourself. Like I know it sounds so simple, but be yourself, because you're amazing. You're great. You're wonderful. You're you, and you're the only you. So don't go in there trying to be someone else. Don't compare yourself to someone else. You're fantastic. So
I used to see auditions as a test, like at school. So I get incredibly nervous and have anxiety. I couldn't eat. I'd be on the loo. I'm like, oh my God. And I felt like, you go into an audition and the 8 people sitting there, and I felt like I was being judged. Like, come on then, show us what you've got. And it was just the wrong attitude. And all of a sudden I realised it wasn't a test. I wasn't being tested to see if I could act. This was an opportunity for me to play. And it really shifted something for me. So when I have an audition, I don't think, oh, they're testing to see if I'm right for the part. I'm like, no, I get to play today. I get to do what I love. So when I walk out of an audition, for me, the success isn't whether or not I book a job. It's like, did I have a good time? And if you're playing a role, the word play means to have fun. So I just try and have fun with it as opposed to being like, seeing it as this sort of big negative thing. I'm like, no, I love acting. I'm not doing it for the money, and if I get to play for 10 minutes, I've had a good day. And that really shifted it for me, and it removed the anxiety from auditions for me. It was helpful. Good luck.
Hello. When you're texting or messaging with friends and family, do you use GIFs and memes of your characters?
I'm doing it right now.
Of our characters? Of our characters? Only with Rebecca.
Our text game is strong. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
My mum found out what gifts were this week, so now I'm getting just gifts. I'm like, oh no. It's just out of control. But I love doing that. I love doing gifs and memes of myself, and some people are like, just know, Rebecca. Just know there's like Zelina doing this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
Not that I can think of, to be honest. I mean, me and my sister did communicate in Vines for a while.
It's fine.
We just send memes back and forth for like hours on end, and then we'd laugh and then go to bed.
I like Bitmoji too. Bitmoji's fun.
Bitmoji's terrifying.
Hi. So, Once Upon a Time is a show about fairy tales and stories. Do any of you have any favorite or most memorable fairy tales or stories that have stuck with you from childhood?
Obviously not.
I mean, see, I'm still quite young. I mean, we're all young and fantastic and awesome and amazing and that.
I really am.
But
motivational speaker.
Yeah, I'm still young, and one of my favorite Disney movies / fairy tales of all time is Tangled. Which is fantastic because exactly Levi's here. But more than that, I've always loved the story. I've loved the film. There's a period of time where I'd watch it every night before bed. It was just something I did, and something amazing and wonderful and awesome is Tangled was one of the things that me and my girlfriend connect over, and we still love watching it together, and we do it all the time, and I call her my Rapunzel, so there we go. Thought I'd just, yeah.
I always said Hansel and Gretel because I love the candy. And my mom didn't let me eat candy for 6 years. You can talk to her about that. Wow. But look at my teeth. Thanks, Mom. No, but it was torture because every kid ate candy around me and it sucked. And I got carob. And carob is like fake chocolate. No one even knows what carob is here.
I
Please,
do.
okay, thank you. And sugar-free lollipops. Now I eat them because now I like them. But when I was a kid, so every time I read Hansel and Gretel, it was like I was living vicariously through those characters.
I didn't really grow up. I only really fell in love with Disney stuff when I was a teenager. I was a bit late to the game. Like in the 90s when like Aladdin came out and The Little Mermaid, I was like, oh my god. I'd like learn all the words and type them out on a typewriter. I didn't have a lot of friends, so in my room next to a candle, like Oliver Twist. But those really stuck out for me. But what about The Wizard of Oz? That was terrifying. I watched The Wizard of Oz way too young.
I was terrified of
The Wicked Witch of the West was terrifying. I had nightmares about it. And then I got to to be
I was
children
terrified
like
of
this.
Dumbo, so I'm no one to talk.
That's a really scary film.
I had an older sister who made me watch The Exorcist at 5. Thanks, Tina.
Too soon.
Yeah, so I was traumatized quite young. I got used to horror and thriller young, and my mom, my whole family, it loves it. Every family gathering, it's like, oh, let's watch a scary movie. And it's like our thing, so I liked it. I love horror movies. I love them. Sorry, I went from fairy tales to horror.
Over here.
Hi.
Hello. I was wondering if there was any item from the Once Upon a Time universe, a magical item that you could actually take into the real world, what would it be?
My broomstick. Like, I wish I could go home on that tonight and it'd be faster than my flight.
Magic beans, but I want like a plethora of them. Like I want a bag to be able to like just portal anywhere.
Yeah, you kind of stole my answer there. It's okay. Because now I'm gonna go with the pen, just because I could rewrite history. And
Pen is way better.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Over here.
Hi.
Howdy.
That's okay. Yeah, so all three of you probably have crazy schedules, working crazy hours, but all three of you look the same age. So my question is, how
I
do you
love
even-
her. Isn't she lovely? What a lovely, lovely question. I love young. Yes, thank
This
you.
has been a debate among me and my friends. How do you look so good? Like, what's your secret?
Magic.
It's a no candy?
It's magic. From working on the show, we just don't age. We're 163. And I can start being 163. Thank you. I love you.
Eye cream. I'm serious.
Which eye
Whatever. I just put it on your face.
Sunscreen. I've been wearing sunscreen every day since I was 18, even in the winter. That's my saving grace.
No, but I literally eye cream since I could afford it. So probably 19, started wearing eye cream. And I just, it was like something I tried, and then I was like, I didn't think I needed it then, but that's one thing I don't live without.
And while it's a compliment for you guys, it's not so much for me. I drink absurd amounts of coffee. That's why I look so old.
So old, Darren.
It's just your soul is old.
Hi. So Once is obviously a show about fairy tales and then crossovers. So I want to know what your favorite crossover was from the show, combining two fairy tales into one, like the story crossover.
Oh, you mean like the Beast and Rumpel kind of thing?
Correct.
The Beast and Rumpel. What about you, Jared?
I'm not thinking of any.
I can't really think of any.
I've got baby brain, that's my excuse.
I love a lot of the crossovers that we had in the show. I mean, like the entire show is pretty much just one massive fairy tale crossover. But
what about Frank and Daniel?
Yeah, I mean Frank and Daniel was good. Frankenstein, just having Frankenstein in the show. But I mean, yeah.
But you know what was cool too is like when Lana directed her episode, it was really fun to shoot inside Hansel and Gretel's like gingerbread house. That was really cool. That was such a great scene that she directed, and it was amazing. There was just candy everywhere.
That was Adam and Eddie knowing that was my favorite episode.
That was really cool.
Favorite fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we knew it was your favorite.
It was sweet.
I don't know why I just gave them that voice. They don't sound like that. Every time a woman imitates a man, they sound like that, right? So true. And then the guy's like, we don't sound like that.
I love the stereotype.
Sorry. Did I just get me in trouble? Oh God.
Sorry, this would be my last question.
So my question is for Rebecca and Lana.
What do you think Selena and Regina's reactions would be to seeing the Disney and Wizard of Oz versions of their characters?
Well, we would think that they were rubbish. Because obviously we would think we were better. Because we're amazing, aren't we?
How do you wear that thing around your face for so many hours?
That does not look comfortable.
Does your forehead itch? And I just think she's always like...
And also, what about the nose on the Wicked Witch of the West from Oz? I'm like, when Adam and Eddie said we thought of you first for that role, I'm like, thank you. Thanks, guys.
If I met the old hag, I would have been like, eye cream. Told you. Works. Jared's like...
I mean, the funny part is Henry probably saw every version of the Evil Queen, or like he probably saw the animated Snow White film,
Yeah, right.
and he probably saw the Wizard of Oz. So.
Should just give you a pen. Write those stories.
We are out of time. Please join me in thanking our guests.